Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Mull, and I am a marketing consultant located in Reading, Pennsylvania. What I'm about to explain is a project that was presented to me to help inner city youth learn a skill, a marketing skill, how to build a website. Let's see, the information that I had here is the goal is for inner city youth to learn how to build websites, learn how they're created, and allow them to produce a website for a local organization. So I thought that was a really cool idea, and it's a very doable project. And what I want to do is explain I would how I would suggest going about accomplishing such a project. So first off, that's awesome. Web design is a growing skill. If you know how to do web design, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a job somewhere. So teaching children how to do this, teenagers how to do this, is going to be a worthwhile skill for them later on down the road, because the world is just becoming more driven by the internet. So let's say we have 20 students, and each one of them is going to be producing a website for their organization of their choice. Great project. Here's how I would suggest we do this. First off, let's talk about the technology. I feel WordPress would be the best solution to build these websites. At the current time, I think about 30% of the web is running a WordPress website. It is an open source software, which means you don't have to pay for it, but it's run by a community, a huge community that is constantly updating it and making it better. It's one of the reasons why so many web developers choose this platform. It allows you to log in. You can change content on your own. You can change designs. It's a really cool, versatile system. And I have hosting set up for this. So as it stands right now, my company that I run on my own is a web hosting company. I host websites for various organizations. My thoughts were that we pick a domain. So let's say it's hackathonproject.com. And what you can do is, most websites have a www right here, but what we can do is we can create subdomains. So instead of it being www, it could be project1.hackathonproject.com. Then you could have project2.hackathonproject.com. And what this allows us to do is build multiple websites off of one URL. So my thoughts were to create, first of all, we'll choose a URL that we're going to use for the testing, for them to build the sites out on. I don't know if Hackathon Project's available, but whatever we're going to name it, we'll buy that domain that costs about $15. And what I will do is set up 20 subdomains. So it'll be project 1, project 2, project 3. Each one of them will have its own dedicated installation of WordPress, where the person will be able to log in. So this is an example of a website that I managed for a local music festival. So I want to go and administer the site. I just click login, and I'm presented with a whole dashboard of things that I can do. I can go to my pages, and here are all the pages for the website. Let's say I want to edit something on the interactive art page. Click on that link. It has a visual editor really similar to Microsoft Word. So this platform's awesome for an entry level person to get used to building a site, because it's like a halfway point. You get to use things like this to build it out. Of course, you can write raw HTML, like someone like myself would be in this part versus this, but there's a lot you can do with these sites. And WordPress, they run off themes. So first off, to host a website, you need to have a web server. And I have a web server and web space that I can donate to the project free of charge. I could even get us a domain name to set up all these different projects for each student. Now, here's the cool part. There are thousands of different WordPress designs available. This is a site that I like. Let me get to the themes. Each one of these designs can be purchased. So let's say I really like, let me pick one that I've actually used. Okay, here's one that's called Showcase. So I bought the Showcase theme, and they provide step-by-step instructions on how to set it up. So as long as the server's been set up and WordPress has been installed, which I will do all that, and I'll even do a video of it so that the students can learn how this part's done. It's actually quite simple, but it should be done by someone that is a professional that does this all the time, because if you get one of the processes wrong, one of the steps wrong, the entire site doesn't work, and it'll just be nothing but trouble. But let's say that this site was on its own hosting account. We had installed WordPress. Now we're ready to rock and roll. So I've purchased this theme, the showcase theme. Usually these themes cost about $100 or less, and I have setup instructions to do everything. So if I want this website to look like this, all I have to do is follow all these instructions. So if I click on here, it tells me how to customize my header, what size graphics I need, where to go and do it. So when I go and set this site up, it looks like this. So here is an example of a website that I made just about 2 months ago using this same showcase theme for a t-shirt shop. So instead of having this image, I swapped it out for embroidery. I swapped out all the information for what they do, put this image over here. If you scroll through this, you can see it's the same layout. But I customized it for this business and it looks really cool. And it didn't take a million hours to make, and it's professional. It works on a phone, it loads fast. So if you do the installation of WordPress right and choose a quality theme, you end up with a really nice site that doesn't take 100 hours to make. This one's pretty cool. It has quote forms. So if I'm on here and I'm interested in getting t-shirts, I can fill out these forms. I have all the technology and pieces to do this. Um, their portfolio page is really cool. We just took pictures of the shirts, put them on a white background, different hats. So this is a website that a student could totally do for a local business if they would just follow these steps and have a little bit of creativity and add their own images and write their own text. And if I'm not mistaken, they have a couple months to make this project. So this could definitely happen. So what's cool is there are thousands of website WordPress themes available. This website, Mojo Themes, they're running in the $50 range. I know the premium themes that I buy, let's see just what this one is. These can sometimes, well, I get a discount. So, I mean, it was $74.95, but we can get it for 56. So, I mean, in the world of websites, shelling out $100 for a theme when these sites easily could cost a business $5,000 when it's all said and done, because it isn't just about the theme, it's about the time that you put into it. That's really what you're paying for. So there's various theme resources out there. My thoughts were to I would give the students about 5, 6 different places where they could choose themes, and the organization would purchase the theme, whatever the cost would be. They each could choose one. I actually have themes already, so we can maybe use some of the ones that I have. But I think it'd be cool if they chose a theme and went through the process of installing it, which to install it, you just log into this backend panel, go to Appearance, Themes. I'll go over here to Add New and go to Upload, and I upload the files that I buy from one of these places. It's super straightforward, and then from there they follow the instructions and they make the site on their own. They'll really feel ownership to this. So I'm going to bring back up this note document that I had. So the best platform to use is WordPress. You can buy the themes relatively inexpensive. I have hosting space and I could set it all up at no cost. The winners, so there would be let's say we're choosing 3 or 4 winners out of the 20. What we can do then is buy or the organization can buy their own domain. So they go to GoDaddy, they can come here and they can purchase a domain name. This is where you buy like a domain for a website. So let's say they'd want uh, I'm just going to pick up a name, great organization. .com, we would go to GoDaddy, the organization themselves, the great organization, the end person who would end up with this website would go to GoDaddy. We would purchase the name in their behalf so that they own a domain name. Then we could put them on my server or get them on some form of hosting space, attach a new domain, and the project that the student made will now be live on the web for that organization to use. So what I can do is I can help choose one of the winners, but I have broken down the cost of the project. So website hosting typically costs $10 a month at the minimum for a website. The web hosting I do is $50, $60 a month because they're on premium servers and they're managed and I watch them. But I'm going to comp this at no cost. And also the WordPress installation, I will definitely comp this just as my donation towards the project. The theme themselves, so when they want to buy a theme, that would need to be purchased by the organization that's putting this all together. Let me go back to my notes here. And then when it comes time to purchasing a domain name for the organization that they're going to donate the site to, the organization themselves would buy the domain, and then me and my team would facilitate the transfer of the theme from one server to another. So if their website is one on project1.hackathonproject.com, my team and I will move all the website files over to a dedicated hosting space and attach it to their domain. Um, the cost for that is usually by the hour, and it can sometimes take like 2 or 3 hours to make sure this is done right, depending on the complexity of the site. So I can't give a flat rate quote for that, but I could definitely assist with this. But that would be the goal. That I would start off creating hosting space on one domain. So it would be one that we would purchase, build out all the separate projects for each student. And then once they have their base WordPress installed, I would meet with them, explain how WordPress is great, how it runs the web, and how web design is a great skill to have, and basically do the presentation. And then when the presentation's done, everybody would get an email with a link, username, and password to access their WordPress installation. From there, they can go and choose whatever theme they like. I would provide 4 or 5 different links where they could spend time, and depending on the organization, they pick the theme that they feel fits best, buy the theme, install it, upload the content, make the pictures, edit things in Photoshop, whatever they're going to need to do to make this look the way it does. I mean, there is some work behind this, but I totally feel they can do this. I've seen teenage students do this already quite efficiently. It's quite scary because they're that smart. But they buy the theme, make the website, and then we have somebody choose a winner, and then after the gala is done, the black tie event, we would then take whatever winners and put them on real websites. So we would help the organization purchase a domain name. We would move the project from their project site over to their dedicated hosting space in their organization. And now that organization has a website made by a student, and that is what I propose. And if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to email me. Hopefully, this video makes sense on why I feel this is the best, most efficient way to go. Any questions or concerns, you can just reach out to me at Brian Bryan at brianmole.com. See here, I'm going to send this as an email as well. Brian at brianmole.com. My number is 484-650-3723. And I would be glad to answer any questions. So hopefully this helps. Thank you very much. Have a great night, day or night, whatever it may be. Thank you.